And welcome back to W Rated, the podcast where we willingly watch the world's worst rated films. In today's episode, we will be delving into our 9th film on IMDb's Bottom 100 with a returning special guest. So for any new listeners, my name is Daisy, and as always, I'm joined by our podcast co-creator and co-host Claire. Claire, how are you doing?
Hello. Full discretion, you were sat with me less than 24 hours ago sobbing on a bench in Camden, so I think
Silly question.
we don't want to get into how I'm doing, but I'm glad we're back to podcasting. It's been 4 or 5 months?
4 months, I think, since we recorded the last one. So for the listeners, it's going to be slightly different. We did have another episode in the bank from before we took a break. So this won't be the break for you guys, but for us, it has been 4 months since we've recorded, and it's so exciting to be back, and so exciting to be introducing back to the podcast our parody correspondent, Alex G. Also, now like triple threat podcast host, right?
I don't know what's going on with my life.
You should have joined us on the bench yesterday for a cry.
Yeah, I think that would have helped. That really would have helped. No, honestly, I'm so happy to be back. I cannot wait.
We meant that when we said that. You know, it's going to stick to it now.
Yeah.
He's all like, oh, I don't want to talk about this film, but has quite famously been dragging Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo all over social media.
I haven't seen that. Not as in like I haven't seen the film, and I haven't seen Alex's.
It's so interesting, isn't it? Because we're on this podcast where we're talking about the worst films, and I absolutely loved, obviously, Vampires Suck, which was the last episode I was on, and then obviously I'm talking about my distaste for what is considered the greatest film of all time. Public, yeah. I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't do it. But
are you like in the upside down or something? Like something is just not quite right.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. This is the
wonderful thing about film criticism, right? And reviewing. Everyone's got their own taste, even if they're wrong.
Exactly. I mean, you know what? It's out there now. I thought I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to be like not genuine on the podcast, so I had to give out my true thoughts, which, to be fair, I didn't really back up with any kind of solid evidence as to why I didn't like it. But not for me.
Was that was your first Alfred Hitchcock film, right?
Yeah, it was. So it's not really. I don't know. Maybe I need to watch Psycho and I'll be like blown away. Who knows?
I thought Psycho was better than Vertigo. I thought Vertigo was good, but I didn't love it. But I do also think that's because it's been redone so many times now. Like I'd probably seen it done in other ways, so it didn't feel that original. Talking of doing things that have already been done, shall we crack on to our actual film?
Let's correct course. Yeah, I mean, Parody Correspondent, you know, people's ears must have pricked up at that and thought, right, this is one of the 11, is there like 11, I think we said that there
11
was
or
on the
12
list at the time of starting, which is a 10th, it's 10% of the list, a parody film. So we had to we have to keep going with them, you know, we have to get some momentum with them.
This is our third parody?
Yes, yeah. It is. The first one we did date movie without Alex, but now, you know what, this is having you as a correspondent, Alex, just makes me a little bit more motivated to get through these things, because otherwise it would be a repeat of date movie, and me, Claire and I just completely lost our mind on that one. So
we've got to have some kind of flow going here.
Yeah. I'm really excited to find out if you like this, because it's going to be anything like our Vampire Suck episode. I'm going to have a lot of fun today. So the film in question is 2009's Dance Flick, which is an American musical comedy film, quote, which is a parody of, you guessed it, dance flicks, mainly from the noughties, some from the 90s, I think. It's got a 3.5 out of 10 rating on IMDb, and we've come into a little bit of a sticky situation here, in that it's actually, at the time of recording, no longer on the bottom 100. It was at the time of watching and preparing, and we got basically, obviously, half the work's done by the time that we record the podcast. So we've decided to push through, because ultimately, you never know, it might be back on there at some point soon. You know, judging from my opinion of it, I don't that wouldn't surprise me. But we did make a note. It was number 98, So it's teetering on the edge there. So you never know, it might come back. But I mean, once a bottom 100 film, I feel like it's always an honorary bottom 100 film. Like if you've graced those steps, I feel like you should hold that on your film for the rest of existence. So we're pushing on through with the film Dance Flick. It was directed by Damien Dante Wayans. It's his directorial debut. It's also his sole directing role. I know there's a few other bits on IMDb, but I don't think they're full films. I think the thing he's most famous for is being on the writing team for My Wife and Kids. It was written by and starred many members of the Wayans family.
All of them.
Also starring basically any of them that were... And they probably went on, like, they probably did, like, the whole... family history, like family tree thing, and like just found like any members related to them whatsoever, called them up and be like, did you know that you're related to us? Let's get you on. And it stars Damon Wayans Jr., who I most commonly know him from New Girl. He's also in Let's Be Cops. He's Coach. Great character in that. I really like him in that. Also stars Shoshana Bush. I haven't seen anything else that she's done. I think it's very similar to the guy that played the... Go on.
Spoiling a review I read, someone just wrote, having the word best known for Dance Flick is one of the most depressing Wikipedia articles I've ever read.
Oh, yeah.
And that's poor Tashana.
She's done stuff, and I think it's very similar to like the guy that played the Jacob role in Vampire Sucking. He'd done a lot, but it just never seemed to break through into the mainstream. And we also have starring Essence Atkins, who was in... I've sort of looked at what other parodies they've been in. She was in A Haunted House, which was a play on Paranormal Activity, I believe, as well. Afron Crockett, who was in A Haunted House 2, and a bit part in Pixels, I believe. Chris Elliott, most commonly known for Scary Movie 2, The Butler. He's also in Scary Movie 4 and a new show that I absolutely love. For me, it's new, but not for everybody else. I finally watched Schitt's Creek, and he plays, I'm not going to lie, a very annoying character in that.
Roland Chip.
I don't know how you guys feel about him. And David Alan Grier, who I didn't realise is actually in Jumanji. He plays Sugar Bear, you guys. He was the one in the fat suit. And had quite a big part in the show in Living Colour. So just to give you a brief synopsis of the film, this actually I wanted to share this one with you guys because this came from Paramount Pictures, so it's quite funny how they've sort of written this for their press release. And it starts with, Dance Flick is a hilarious new comedy that brings together the talents of two generations of the Wayans family, the explosively funny clan who brought us the Scary Movie franchise and White Chicks, as well as the groundbreaking TV series In Living Colour. In Dance Flick, a young street dancer, Thomas Uncle, played by Damon Wayans Jr., from the wrong side of the tracks, and a beautiful young woman, Megan White, are brought together by their passion for dancing and put to the test in the mother of all dance battles. I only just noticed that her last name's White. I didn't pick up on that in the film. Yeah. I don't know if anyone else did.
I did because I watched the making of documentary again this morning.
Oh, you watched it again because we did. Yeah, we watched it, but we didn't. We just talked pretty much over it, didn't we? When we watched it. Alex, did you have any previous? I don't know, even knowing of this film existed.
Funnily enough, as parody correspondent, I have to admit that I didn't even know this film existed. So,
right.
Yeah,
hidden gem, you might say.
Yes, of course, definitely. No, I don't know. It's just, like having no knowledge of it and kind of almost like guilty pleasure type loving parody movies. I thought, you know what, just got to give it a chance.
Yeah, well, that's what the whole thing's all about, right? This is what we're doing with these films, giving them a chance. And that's kind of what I was trying to do going in. I also hadn't seen it before or heard of it. Claire, had you? I can't remember.
No, only because it was on the list, and it was sort of my fault that we're doing it because I was in a charity shop and I was buying a DVD. Anyone who listened to our I Know Who Killed Me episode the movie Labour Pains that I said was one of my favourite Lindsay Lohan films. Found it in a charity shop. It was £1 for a DVD, but buy one get one free. So I was like, well, I'll be buying that because that's a Lindsay Lohan treasure to keep. And was looking for something else for free, and there I saw a dance flick and thought, well, if it's free, I'll pick that up. And then Daisy came around my house for some TLC. She was in a bit of a bad way, needed some pick me up, so I made her some like kids
So she
party
decided,
food, and then made her
Oh
watch
my God.
Dance Flick.
Was it like British tapas? Did you have British tapas?
We did
Yes.
have British tapas.
Oh my God, I've never heard that before. That's amazing.
But it was
my
100% British tapas.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
I feel like this is the best way to enjoy that movie, to be fair.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah, you couldn't have created a better situation for
It's
it
the
to be
first
watched.
one we've watched together, and I think
It
the
is.
highlight of it was the Enchanted parody sequence where I started screaming out loud because of the cockroaches and you started screaming out loud because of the rats, and the two of us just screamed for a good couple of minutes.
Yeah, I would say poor Claire's neighbours, but they make a lot of noise, so actually we were just getting back at them. So
Did you scream at any points, Alex?
No, but I must say the Enchanted sequence as a whole was just kind of mind-blowingly weird. And especially so that it seems that the cockroaches talking may have influenced the live-action Cats movie.
Which I've still not seen, so I look forward to understanding that reference no time soon.
Yeah, no.
I was going to say, no, you don't look forward to it, please. No,
don't look forward to it. Definitely don't.
I'm a Taylor Swift stan.
Turn
that
away.
film's going to be difficult for me.
Oh, God, yeah. Can't wait to unpack what you think about that. Jeez. Well, listen, let's go full spoiler territory then with the film, considering we've started talking about one of the scenes. Yeah, open-minded as always, but knowing that I'm not a parody film fan per se, especially from, I mean, I like Scary Movie, but, you know, from this sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? When people like have graduated from alumni, because they're all kind of they used to be part of the same group with Scary Movie, and then you've got Freebag and Seltzer and then the Wayne brothers and everything. They've all gone and done their own things. And yeah, it was the best circumstance to watch it in, but I'm not going to lie, within 30 seconds, I'd already rolled my eyes and gone, oh God, I'm so tired. So, you know, full disclosure.
Was it the pee joke within the first 5 minutes that got to you?
Yeah, it was, yeah. It was exactly that. It was like we were watching the dance. It opens with a dance off, of course. And we've been commenting, Claire, weren't we? There's some actually really, really good dancing. We found out that it was a choreographer from some actual real dance.
So the choreographer for this film choreographed, I believe, Stomp the Yard, Step Up 2, and a number of other films. So, like, good on him. And yeah, like, the one positive thing of this film, I also don't like parodies, but I do like a good dance film. I really enjoyed the dance sequences and the musical numbers. I just didn't like any of the stuff around it.
No, yeah, you can definitely tell that there's some kind of professional choreography behind the scenes. But yeah, no, I mean, look, parody movies are stupid at their essence, and they do just have some randomly stupid things. But that, I mean, starting with that pee joke, I don't know. It
just set the tone, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. It really did. The really low tone of the movie.
Yeah.
Throughout, yeah.
It's interesting, actually, because I would liken it more to date movies kind of gross out humour more than Vampire Suck. Vampire Suck, I felt, was a bit more raunchy humour, like sort of like immature, but not necessarily, if I remember rightly, in a proper gross out way. Whereas I feel like Date Movie was more. I don't know if you've seen Date Movie, Alex.
I haven't seen Date Movie, actually. So
I recommend watching it on New Year's Eve. It was a really great way to ring in New
I'm
Year.
going to do that. I'm going to save it now for New Year's Eve. I'm definitely going to do that.
That's how I welcomed 2021. And do you know what? Fucking serves me right, because it's been a shitstorm of a year. And that was my first mistake.
Once again, set the tone.
Okay.
It did. It really set the tone.
Okay, maybe not then.
Yeah, don't recommend.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the kind of, unfortunately, you know, you've got to expect it with these films, but at the same time, it's 100% not my tone of humour. And so I kind of was just like, here we are, we're settling in for this kind of film. And you know what? At least it was short.
I think
That's
it was
true.
a similar problem that we said, or at least I found, because I know I liked Vampire Suck not a lot more than you, Daisy, but definitely more than you. And I thought Vampire Suck was better than Date Movie. And I think the problem with this one was a similar problem I had with Date Movie, that a lot of the jokes weren't actually relevant to the genre. They were just jokes for the sake. So it was a lot of like gross out sex jokes and a lot of really like, being now in 2021 versus when this came out in 2009, it was that really horrible period of really catty celebrity like takedowns. Like there were, I'm looking at my notes, there were like horrible Jessica Simpson references. There were like Lindsay Lohan hit and run jokes, as well as
And
like Brandy and Halle Berry, and Brandy being someone who was in a real life hit and run, which I believe ended in a fatality, which is just, that's not actually that funny. And then like you have then the Britney Spears Guide to Parenting book, and it is like, I don't know if they were funny at the time. I know that humor and that kind of satire was definitely in at the time. I don't know if I would have found it funny then, but obviously now watching it, with everything we've done in the year, it was hard to watch, because when anyone goes, oh well, it wasn't that bad, you're like, mate, this look at like big mainstream films that do this. Whereas I think Vampire Suck, a lot of the humour was the humour of Twilight. It was just mocking Twilight.
The piss out of that film itself.
Whereas, as a big fan of dance movies, this didn't really. It's actually kind of gave quite a lot of care to the dance things, and then the other jokes just didn't fit with it.
Yeah, I think my main issue with Dance Flick specifically is that compared to other parody movies where it focuses in the main plot line on like one specific movie, so obviously Vampire Suck does Twilight, like Epic Movie does kind of half Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, mainly Narnia kind of deal. I don't think that Dance Flick's main plotline was as recognizable as that.
I, as someone who loves Step Up and who watched Save the Last Dance a lot, those two plot lines really made sense to me, because I know those films very well. But I know at the end of it, me and Daisy had to look up what all the stuff about like them owing money was about, and it turned out it was Are You Being Served, or Have You Been Served?
Yeah.
And I've never seen that film, so all of those references were lost to me. It was just that being a white girl who wanted to be a ballerina, I had obviously seen Save the Last Dance quite a lot.
But yeah, I mean, when it really leans into the actual stuff in terms of the dancing genre, that's when it is probably at its strongest. I mean, I cannot tell you how much I was literally sat on my bed and I was like, I keeled over laughing at this moment, where obviously Megan is doing her dance audition and her mum's like promised that she's gonna go and see her, and obviously she's in the van and she's like, don't worry, I'm gonna be there, don't worry. And then she looks over to the seat and there's the flowers on the seat, and then obviously on the card it says in loving memory of Megan's mum. And the moment I saw that card, I don't know why, but I just found it honestly, I was in hysterics, absolute hysterics.
See, whereas I'm looking at Daisy right now, and I'm remembering how much Daisy hated that entire Megan's mum's death sequence.
Because I was going to say the reason I hated it is because they did the dialogue gag, right? So that she said something in the flower shop that was the gag. And I felt like I was laughing at going, oh, I get it. Like, that's probably what's going to happen. But then they went through a whole sequence of actually showing it. And I was like, you've basically just insulted my intelligence of knowing that was the joke, because you've just had to explain it to me visually for a sequence that goes on for so long.
Yeah. So although the bit where she looks at the card is absolutely hilarious and probably one of the best jokes of the entire film, I do agree with you in the fact that sequence was just drawn on immensely long, like way too long, completely too long.
I feel like they probably go, oh, this shit's really funny and people are going to be laughing, so let's just add more and more things that are just going to keep people laughing, which is fine. And you know what? If you are and you're laughing, that's great. The problem is if you never started laughing to begin with, you just end up getting more and more stone faced, which is what I was doing. So it's a real risk. It's a real gamble when you do that kind of humor. And unfortunately, where this kind of humor doesn't work for me, I end up that ends up happening for me a lot, where I just end up feeling like these things are really drawn out. Whereas for some people, they're probably the most hilarious thing, because you're building on something that you're already finding funny and getting more laughs out of it.
It was written by 4 different people, and so I couldn't decide, because it did feel really up and down as a film. Like me and Alex were saying, the dance bits were very good, but then the jokes weren't very funny, and it felt like Alex said as well, it doesn't stick to one plot line, it keeps like ping-ponging. And I
Sure.
think that comes from having multiple writers, because they were probably all writing different sections. And then what I can almost imagine happening is it was like an inside joke that they would like riff off each other. And you know, when you get in that really giddy humour with someone and you just find this thing the most hilarious
Someone
thing in the
always
world,
keeps one-upping you. Yeah.
but then someone
And
else
goes,
comes into it and they're like, what are you laughing at? And you're like, I can't, it's not even funny. Like, I can't tell you. I think that's this whole movie.
That explains it incredibly well, to be honest. We could just finish the
Really,
podcast there.
really
That's
well.
a really great
Done.
place to end.
Nothing more needs to be said. And you know what? I think that's amplified even more by the fact that they're all family.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
it's one big
that
inside
connection
joke
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, as I've made a note as well, which is kind of what I've already said about the jokes. But like, we know the joke, we know what's coming, and it's just like I felt like most of the film I was just waiting for them to tell it, and then for it to be over, because I already knew what they were going to do. When there was the pregnant woman that was breakdancing, I was like, well, she's clearly going to have her baby on the dance floor, right?
Yeah.
So like that shot on sequence lasted like 15-20 seconds. So that was just me waiting for it to happen. And like, that's not really like enjoyable movie watching for me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up, actually. The fact that this seems like the most predictable parody movie I've ever seen, in terms of just like being able to like just say like what the joke is going to be before the joke actually happens. Whereas with things like other parody movies like Epic Movie and Superhero Movie, there are some like genuinely shocking jokes that you really don't see coming.
Well, I was just thinking as you said that, like the one that I did laugh at, the Segway joke in Vampires Suck, like I did not see that coming at all, and it did make me laugh, you know. And unfortunately I just felt like I just felt like they were talking to a really low denominator in terms of, we think this is funny, so we're just it was just massively cliche, as you say, and it was just like, who is this for? Because anyone that's seen any film, and this is the trick with parodies, obviously the difficulty is making it recognizable and riffing off of something that already exists, but also making it funny and new. I get that's a really hard line to walk, but then you get films like this where you're like, have you even tried? Because you've just gone, this is what happens in these films, this is what the lowest sort of like common denominator of something that could be funny, and we're just going to do it. We're not going to think about any kind of original.
We noticed that one of the things when it started was we were a little bit excited for the Hairspray, because I think you mentioned you're a fan of Hairspray as well, and they have like the fake Tracy Turnblad. But we noted at the end of the film that there wasn't a single Hairspray moment in the film.
I was waiting for so long.
There, and I pointed out, I think what happened was that was just a fat character, and then Hairspray came out while they were filming and was really successful, and they were like, oh well, we have this character that the joke is they're a bit fat, so why don't we just make them Tracy from Hairspray and then just make loads of fat jokes? And it was like, what was actually the point of any of that?
So it really seems like, for some reason, maybe in the background, they didn't have kind of like the rights or whatever to actually reference these things properly, because like in Vampires Suck, you clearly see all of the films that they're trying to reference, you know, all the way down to, you know, when Alice turns up from Alice in Wonderland and all that kind of stuff. But it seems like they were just pale comparisons of the films rather than actually fully going in on it and making sure that like it was like they couldn't even sing the songs properly, unless it was the actual idea to parody the songs and kind of change the lyrics or whatever. But yeah, it just
I felt like a lot of it was just phoned in at the last minute. Like you've suddenly got the High School Musical character, but his scenes you could completely take out of the movie, and it doesn't change the movie whatsoever. Again, it feels like High School Musical came out and they were like, oh, that was really successful, let's throw a couple of High School Musical scenes in there, that'll get more people to watch it, which it probably did. And actually I think they were some of the scenes I enjoyed the most.
I was gonna say, I think they're the ones that worked quite well. And the character in that, when he had his song, me and Claire turned around and were like, that was actually probably the least like offensive sort of thing that we've seen in a parody film, and specifically about a gay character, we were like, okay, we're actually quite pleased with the fact that that went down quite well.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't great, don't get me wrong, but neither of us were personally sort of offended by it. So
Oh no, I thought it like put gay rights back by like 50 years.
Tell us more.
No, I don't know. It also, I mean, I knew from the moment he came on screen when the girl.
I think my expectations were
him.
so on the floor.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be so terrible that I think actually, I actually was surprised that it wasn't that bad. It wasn't. It was good. It just wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's
really strange because all of the humor in this film is so degrading that maybe it was like a shock that didn't go as far as they could have taken it.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is, very strange. But again, you know, it was very interesting. It was like incredibly stereotypical, obviously.
Of course.
And I don't know.
It's like they didn't even try and make it like, I don't know, as you say, it feels completely phoned in because they literally were just throwing in stereotypes and they weren't even making jokes they weren't trying to do anything with it or be clever in any way or explain why they're funny other than haha, he's gay and he likes this. And it's just like, okay, well, that's a stereotype. You're not being as degrading as I expected you to be, but also what is the point? Like, how is this funny?
Exactly, yeah.
And I think I'd be interesting to see, I really would like you to watch Date Movie to see, because I feel like, because we've seen Date Movie, Claire, and how degrading that was in certain places about like, I can't even remember how many different, like, it was racist and it was fatphobic and it was like really difficult to watch. And I thought it was going to be on that level. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad, when it actually is. It's just that I've seen something that's even worse in comparison.
I think when you look at that, there was one thing that I know, like, we both weren't really sure how to deal with, because I don't think we feel like qualified to have an opinion on it. But like, there's a joke about putting her in blackface. And I was like, right, I understand that this is written and directed by people who are black.
Well, we had to check. We didn't remember, did we? We couldn't. I don't know if we could remember, but we checked to be sure, because we were like, this isn't good in any context, but at the same time, we need to know the context.
And so like, I don't feel qualified to have an opinion on that, other than I don't know if anyone found that funny, and I don't know if that's the joke. If the joke is that it's so offensive that this girl is so stupid that she would think, I wasn't really sure what they were trying to say, but I found it uncomfortable.
All we had was a sharp intake of breath from both me and Claire as that happened. I went, oh God, more.
It's not, no. It shouldn't have been in there, to be fair. But I mean, it seems even though it was only 12 years ago, it was a completely different time. Like, things do seem to have changed a lot. But I was only 12 when this film came out, so I don't really remember exactly what was going on when I was 12. But like, clearly it must have been like the deal to just be like, to be fatphobic, to be whatever.
It was
like say the degrading humor was just a real thing.
I was 20 when this film came out, so just gonna go hang myself in the other room about how fucking old I am. Guys, as we mentioned, I'm not good with birthdays. I'm just not good with age. But that was very much the humour at the time. Of most films, even non-parody films, would just have that.
I was going to say, and I feel like because it is a parody, they feel like they can get away with it more so with the things like blackface, in that, but they're like, but we're making a comment on stuff, and you're like, but what comment are you actually making though? That's the thing. You're saying you're making a comment, but what does it do for the greater good? Really?
Exactly. And you know, when obviously there's a scene with the blind kid. Did you, like, the moment I saw that kid, I almost in my head knew that they were going to put him in front of a piano. I just kind of just called it.
Well, I was just like, oh, is it Ray? And I was like, why are they parodying Ray? And then I was like, oh, because Ray probably came out the year before. But I was like, parody dance films. Stop parodying random shit.
Yeah.
Which was my problem with Date Movie as well.
I imagine that they were all just in the writer's room and they're like, oh, what's something that's there? You know, all of the family together. What's something that's popular? Oh, dance. Yeah, let's just do a parody. Blah blah blah. Get Coach in. I'm just gonna call him Coach. Get Coach in. He could be the star.
He said he had to audition 5 times.
Bloody hell! I bet they just did that for a laugh.
Probably.
And I bet they're all just like, yeah, just literally like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like, you know, what's in our culture, what's music related.
The final scene is a random Twilight parody just in the last like minute or two, which isn't actually that bad, but you can clearly see that was a last minute rewrite / addition.
And I was like, oh no, not again.
Which is what happened with Date Movie with the King Kong scene. They like filmed that last minute, and you can see that it's happening where they're obviously making it and they're like, you know, Step Up came out like 4 or 5 years ago, we need a couple more relevant, like modern. And I think that's the problem. I always go back to Scary Movie on this, and I actually listened to a different podcast that made a similar point, is that like Scary Movie was homaging and parodying good films that were genuinely popular and genuinely good.
Yeah.
Films like Step Up and Save the Last Dance are almost parodies of themselves. Like by the time you get to Step Up 4 and 5, they are just...
That's a thing.
Yeah, I've seen 1 through 3. I haven't seen 4 or 5.
There are so many.
Set in Miami, and there's definitely 5. I wonder if there's even 6. 1's good. I was watching it earlier. But yeah, these films by this point are almost parodies in and of themselves, and they don't stay as in the general consciousness as a lot of other films. So I think that's why they were suddenly like, right, let's put a couple modern things in because no one's going to remember what happened in Save the Last Dance. It came out 10 years ago. Let's throw Twilight in there. Let's throw this in there.
That's why it just seems so like, what? Because it's, as you say, Alex, it's like, okay, for people that have seen and liked that film, they're going to understand the plot line. And I know that it was a popular film, but it doesn't feel like it was a popular enough film in the same way that you've just mentioned they did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Narnia in Epic Movie. Like, it's more a case of you'd be hard pushed to find people that haven't seen it more so than have. But this, I feel, is the other way around in that, sure, there's you know, a little part of the zeitgeist where loads of girls this age or whatever saw it, and that was the big, you know, you'd be hard pushed to find someone who hadn't seen it in that demographic. But overall, I would probably say, if I'm speaking to anyone, and I'd say Save the Last Dance, most of the time people are like, I don't know it, I've never seen it.
Because there's like what, a 5-year age difference between us, and I know I could call any of my friends that I went to school with, they've all seen Save the Last Dance multiple times, they've all seen Step Up, but I'm that chunk older than you that they were my teen films.
Well, what I thought you just said was about the difference in the time that it came out to when it was parodied, which I also think is 5 years. I think it was quite a long time. So it wasn't a recent film, but it was also not a film that had been out long enough that had enough prominence in culture. So it was just a really weird choice.
I think even now, dance films like that really do have like a niche audience. That I imagine those audiences may find dance flick funnier or
as
more
someone
understandable.
Who's in that niche audience. No, we do not.
well, there you go.
I will watch Honey any Sunday afternoon when I am hungover and just need to watch Jessica Alba attempting to do some very, you know, uncomfortable, what is it called? Like where you steal black culture? Appropriation. She's doing some very uncomfortable appropriation in that film. But you know what? I like the dancing and I like the music and it reminds me of being young. But Dance Flick did none of these things. Dance Flick just made me bored and a bit sad. Dance Flick
just aged us.
Yeah, I think it, to be fair, it even felt long, like, even though it was only an hour 20, I kept on looking at the time, like, going, like, oh, how much is really left?
I think we specifically said we weren't going to do that, because I didn't want to know, like, how much longer I was going to have to see it for.
We watched it on DVD, and I can't figure out on my DVD player how to see the runtime,
so
I was like, this is a blessing.
Because I don't want to know. Yeah, it's a blessing rather than a curse. But yeah, and, you know, just talking about the fact that they've chosen to parody dance flicks, like, I get that it was very much a noughties trend, I feel. I don't know, you know, it probably started in the 90s, but I think it very much peaked in the noughties, and then, you know, we haven't really had anything like that of that sort of much of it since. So it seems maybe they, like, I remember we spoke about a Vampire Suck, one of the quotes, I can't remember who it was from, they were saying like they parodied something that shippers not only sailed away, but it's like crashed like the Titanic.
I think it was
so
Commode.
far done. It was. Whereas I feel like that's more appropriate for something like this, where it's like 2009. It'd be interesting to map, was there many dance flicks after this?
So you pretty much started around like 2000s-ish, where you had Coyote Ugly, Bring It On, Save the Last Dance. That kind of started it. These were my films. And then they kept going a bit. And then you got Step Up, was like, the Step Up surprised everyone and did really well and became like a little mini franchise. And like I said, there's like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
But I think by the time Step Up 3 and 4 came out, they were the last ones standing. And everyone was a bit like, is anyone even watching these anymore? It's just the same film over and over.
Because even the Disney Channel had their own, obviously they had like High School Musical. I know they're musicals,
Yeah.
but they had like, what was the Corbin Blue
Jump
one?
In. Did that get referenced in Dance Flick? I can't quite recall.
I don't know.
It should have been. It should have been, because that's one of the best dance movies from the 90s.
Then they even, like, Disney Channel even had that like Shake It Up program with Zendaya and Bella Thorne.
So I feel like it kind of was already starting to be a post trend by the point that this came out.
Yeah.
That it's interesting. It's interesting that maybe it did get the audience at the time, but there was no way that it was going to still resonate with people. What they really got the edge of it before it became completely irrelevant.
Because I think as a fan of Twilight, I was satisfied by Vampire Suck in the way that it kind of, took the mick out of Twilight and Twilight fans and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know whether, and obviously Claire, you'll know, and you've already kind of said, but I don't think that fans of dance movies and things like that would have been very satisfied by the way that it's portrayed in Dance Flick.
And it's because the jokes weren't about the dancing. The dancing was actually not very good, but the dancing was good. It was satisfying, but the jokes weren't about the silliness of, like, the dancers always fall in love. The jokes were about the fact that the dance teacher had a talking camel toe.
Oh my god!
Oh, can we talk?
Can we talk about this?
Miss Camel Toi.
Miss Camel Toe. I mean, Amy Sedaris, Princess Carolyn
in BoJack Horseman.
Why have you done this, Amy? Why?
Well, no. So this is the thing, because obviously you were talking about I don't know what he's called, but the guy who plays Roland Shit in Schitt's Creek. I'd like to think that
Elliot.
Yeah. So I'd like to think that if this film did anything, it put Amy Sedaris and him on the trajectory to be where they were in both Schitt's Creek and BoJack Horseman separately.
I mean, if silver linings,
if that's
I like your attitude.
That kind of domino effect, hopefully.
It was just, we were watching the interviews, weren't we, Claire? And Amy Sedaris said something about, she read the script and it was so funny. And I was like, Amy, you're just saying this, surely.
I guess
saying this for the cameras.
As a bit of a wacky out there comedian, I'm trying to think, like, in 2009, was there really any other options though? Like, what other big kind of comedy films apart from parodies were there for that style of actor? Because you had Eugene Levy did American Pie, and he made like a mini career out of doing all of those straight to DVD sequels. And then you get like the Netflix and Amazon boom, where they start taking a chance on all these kind of niche TV comedies, and suddenly movie actors are willing to do TV, and that's why we're then getting all of these comedians getting to do their best work now. But I think at the time, if you wanted to do a bit, if you want to do some tongue-in-cheek humour, this was probably your only option.
Oh, what a dark day.
Because it was before Bridesmaids. It was like 2 years before Bridesmaids as well, which was a kind of another turning point.
Sorry, but that just puts so much into perspective. Like how, when people are like, oh, this person and this person were actually born in the same year, and you don't associate them with being in the same era. Like, how on earth was this only 2 years before Bridesmaids? Like, crazy.
It did feel like the end of the changing of the guard, because I think this is where they kept trying to do these parodies, and it was the point in which everyone was like, well, I say everyone was like, we're not going to watch them, but they kept being made and they kept making money. But I think this is the point in which like sensible people were like, these are going to be shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still being made, and we said we were going to go see their newest one, Claire. So who are the chumps, really?
When is that actually coming out, by the way? Because it sounds just so terrible.
I don't even know if it's like in filming, but then would we really know? Because there's probably not any like stars in it, so it probably doesn't come up a lot.
Yeah, no. But it's about Star Wars, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Which, again, that's the same thing, right? It's been 2 years now.
Still.
It's in pre-production.
It's been 2 years now since the Skywalker saga ended, so it's like...
I wonder if it's going to be shelved.
Yeah, it's running away from them, the kind of the hype and stuff, so...
But this is it, isn't it? And I think that was always kind of... They were always kind of on the back foot with these things, it seems. And, you know, in this day and age, that's going to... That period of time is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller because people's attention... Remember, this... It wasn't this time last year, but do you remember when it was like the year... after, when everyone was like, oh my god, a whole year ago since Tiger King, that feels like 5 lifetimes ago that everyone was obsessed with Tiger King. It's like that's how quickly things move now, and that you know, it's all squeezed into what, especially because of the pandemic, everything. But I think that's just going to keep picking up that pace. You need to do it immediately, otherwise it's people are going to be like, who cares?
Yeah, very much so.
Any other thoughts? We should go back to the enchanted scene, I think, because did it make you happy, Claire, that when you realised what it was going to be?
I was like, Enchanted, and I was like, oh no, because I can't watch that scene in Enchanted. I genuinely like have to turn it off or leave the room in the scene where she sings and all the cockroaches and rats come in. So I have a very, very bad bug phobia. When I realised they were going to do this scene in this one, and it just all happened so quickly.
Very quickly.
And I was like, and then you start screaming because of the rats.
Yeah,
and then
sometimes, like, when I have a rodent phobia, and like sometimes I'm getting better, actually. I watched the Suicide Squad, and I actually wasn't as bad as I thought I was going to be.
So you were basically Bloodsport in that film.
Yeah, as soon as it was like Idris Elba said he had a rat phobia, I was like, oh yes, my man. I was like, if he's scared of rats, then I'm allowed to be scared of rats, you know?
Yeah.
But I do the whole thing of like preempting. Like I had my jacket above my... As soon as Ratcatcher 2 was around, I was like... Oh. But like most of the time I'm kind of not going over the top, but I'm sort of preempting the fact that I'm going to be scared. I didn't expect this to happen.
It was just so quick.
I actually screamed. I actually just went, wah! Because I didn't expect it at all. And I wasn't, you know, as Claire said, I wasn't in a happy mood. And I didn't particularly want to see loads of rats. So together we basically, you know, in Shaun of the Dead, when they're sitting on the sofa, the zombie comes in, and he's like, "Woo!" That was me and Claire when that scene started. We just went, "Woo!" So you know that was funny, but other than that, nothing else was.
We really liked. I've written down that we cheered for the Little Miss Sunshine bit.
We did. That was a fun reference, and I was like, "That's an interesting reference," because I still feel like Little Miss Sunshine isn't as popular amongst general film, like gem pop, compared to the film goers of the regular nature.
Yeah.
So I was quite surprised that they included that, but I really liked it. I'm glad that they did that. That was fun. That's probably the only thing that I liked, to be quite honest with you.
How do we feel about Sugar? Is he called Sugar Bear? Sugar?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot to share that I did a tally of fat jokes.
Right, okay. Was
surprisingly only 7.
Oh, really?
But, you know, if it's 80 minutes long, that's almost one every 10 minutes.
And I think his entire character was just a one continuous fat joke.
Yeah,
so...
I'll add another one then, because technically...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just like, really, is this what we class as comedy? Because
I recently rewatched Austin Powers: The Spy Who Shagged Me. If you didn't listen, please listen to my episode on binge movies where I declared it the best movie of 1999. Apparently, it was dark. The pickings were slim. But yeah, Fat Bastard really pissed me off in that film, and I feel like it was just a trend of that decade to just always have someone in a fat suit making lazy fat jokes.
Yeah,
I mean, it still happens. So
the really lazy dream girls, kind of knock off as well. Yeah. No, not for me. Not for me.
So was there anything in here that you did enjoy?
Again, like I said, I think the only joke that I really, really liked was the in loving memory of Megan's mum joke. And then I suppose the Fame little parody segment was fine.
That was quite
okay.
fun.
Was kind of fun. Yeah, like you said, it didn't really poke fun at anything. It kind of I suppose it weirdly kind of celebrated him, the character, didn't it? I was really disappointed about the High School Musical stuff because I thought that they were proper going to nail it, and they really didn't. Like, it was just
didn't really do anything with it, did they?
No, not at all. And they tried to force the whole like he's choosing between basketball and being gay, whereas like in High School Musical it's not that. So it didn't feel genuine.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's like, oh right, singing equals gay. Oh,
yeah,
we get it.
Of course. But yeah, and I think I did kind of laugh a little bit at Miss Cameltoise's introduction.
No, that was
even
a big nope.
Even though I shouldn't have done. I think there's a lot of moments in this film where you kind of you go to laugh almost, and then you kind of like, no, actually no, I should not be laughing at that at all. Like the Halle Berry. I didn't know about Halle Berry and the hit and run thing. So I kind of like almost went to laugh at it. And then I Googled it afterwards and obviously found out what it was about. And then I was like, right, okay, no, stay away from that. But yeah, it just seemed too on the bone for a parody movie. And I know that parody movies are meant to be kind of on the bone, but like it just seemed to go too far, I think.
Yeah, I just can't put my finger on quite why it didn't work other than being unfunny. But I think what you said, Claire, specifically about, they're not actually parodying dance movies. And it's kind of what you were saying before about date movies, that, what could have really helped is, you've got all of these tropes. You create a new story, but use all the tropes that people are going to recognize because they're going to be like, oh, that happened in all of these Meg Ryan films. That happened in all of the films I saw when I was 8. They'll recognize those films and you can have visual cues. Doesn't mean you have to literally have the same plot line throughout the whole thing, in that there's so much that could be done that you could literally have like a whiteboard with dance movies. All these things happen in them. And you could actually be referencing way more than they actually did in this in a funny way.
It seemed to be really confined towards like movies of the noughties, which if you wanted to go and make a reference about a film that a dance film from further back, then why couldn't they have done that? Like,
I mean, coming from the man who said that no films should be made, no one should watch any films made before the 70s.
I didn't say before the 70s. I said before 2000. Between those...
Oh my!
No.
I really should vet our guests better.
No. I didn't mean no.
I just started tweeting him loads of different gifts for all the movies. I was like, what about this one?
I had to really like dig myself out of a hole there, because the first thing you did was it The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, there could be one exception, and then you did Snow White, and I was like, okay, there could be two exceptions.
But this is fine, because it's after.
Of
this
course.
Is the kind of stuff that you really.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right, yeah. Okay.
Better than Vertigo, hands down.
Oh my God, should we just scrap our top 3 and do a poll this week and be like,
what's better, Dance Flick or Vertigo?
Dance Flick or any film before the 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, this is me with Blue Velvet. Vertigo is now Alex's Blue Velvet. So Daisy, you need a really beloved film that you're just aggressively against. You'll find it. It'll come to you. Yeah.
Oh,
we'll have something.
I really don't like 2001. I thought.
Oh yeah,
you
boring. Didn't. Yeah.
There you go. Then that's that.
Did you prefer Dance Flick to 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Well, I weren't bored.
There we have it.
I wasn't bored in quite the same way. I was tired, but I wasn't bored.
So we should do who had the worst take. Dance Flick is better than Vertigo. Dance Flick is better than 2001: Space Odyssey. Dance Flick is better than Blue Velvet. Whose take was worse?
These takes are spicy.
So hot. Yeah. On fire.
Oh dear.
Were the reviews on fire, Daisy?
Well, Before we hop on to the reviews, I just wanted to mention that I've got a list of everything that they parodied. I don't know if you guys managed to spot all of these, but I was thinking I could do a quick run through of everything that was either parodied or otherwise
I've got
mentioned.
12 films written down in my list,
I
and
mean,
then a few
and
random celebrities.
This is the thing, you know what it's like? They'll mention anything that's like vaguely could be linked to it. So I'll sort of I'll read them all out, but we know that these are massively to varying degrees. And also some of them were actually cut from the final print as well. So, but I thought best to just include them all. So
we watched the like extra unrated cut.
Yeah, I've got a quote about that later on that I'm very excited to share. So we've got Footloose, Chappelle's Show, Save the Last Dance, You Got Served, Stomp the Yard, Step Up, Flashdance, Step Up 2, Hairspray, Singing in the Rain, Dirty Dancing, Mamma Mia. Both of the last two were cut. Little Miss Sunshine, House Bunny, Final Destination 2, How She Moves, Showgirls, Black Snake Moan, High School Musical, Fame, Honey, Bring It On, Centre Stage, Twilight, Roll Bounce, Notorious, Superbad, Catwoman, One Night in Paris, Ray, Little Shop of Horrors and Dreamgirls, Edward Scissorhands, Enchanted, Final Destination, Crash, America's Best Dance Crew, Coyote Ugly, So You Think You Can Dance, ATL, White Chicks, Alice in Wonderland, Uncle Tom's Cabin, Dreamgirls, Alfie, Brokeback Mountain, and Roots.
I'd be interested about the Coyote Ugly and House Bunny ones because I am an unapologetic stan for those films, and I didn't catch them.
Coyote Ugly doesn't have a note next to it about where, but House Bunny, apparently it was the scene prior to Megan's arrest.
Oh.
I don't remember that happening. It would be helpful if they said what the scene was, but you know, Wikipedia is not the greatest source of information.
I mean, she does get arrested in House Bunny, so maybe she gets arrested in a similar way. I don't even remember getting arrested.
So tenuous, but
it's House Bunny. It's a lot better than this film.
They do try and do this though. They try and pack so many in because they want to be like, only we can reference 50 films in the space of, and we're like, that's not the flex that you think it is, though. You know, just do a couple and do it well. And this is what I wanted to mention about the theatrical cut versus the director's cut. Being released, I think this was on the FAQs of IMDb, is the source. Being released as an unrated version on DVD, the director's cut features approximately 6 minutes of new footage that was reinserted into the movie. Don't expect anything spectacular, and those scenes don't improve the movie at all. Fans are maybe happy with this new cut, others won't care. Whoever wrote that copy for the website, much love, because that's hilarious. Basically, like, on what's supposed to be a completely unbiased like information page, you're like, nah, don't bother.
What kind of stuff was added like in those 6 minutes? Because I don't know whether I watched the theatrical version or the director's.
Right. I've only seen the version that is on the DVD that says uncut and outrageous. So I'm guessing
it's
maybe
outrageous, but in a completely different reason.
Like the joke where she says the C word probably wasn't in the theatrical cut, and like things like that.
I'm trying to see if it says on any of the references whether they were specifically in the
I would imagine it's probably just like swear words and things that meant that they were maybe not going to get their rating.
All of those jokes that already went on too long, just a little bit,
probably just a little bit longer.
Yeah. You know, that birthing scene on the dance floor really needed an extra like. Oh, I can't. Anyway, awesome. So, moving on to reviews and release. Just before we hop on to reviews, Claire, I wanted to share a little bit about the box office, if that's cool. So on opening weekend, domestically, the film ranked at number 5 in the top 10 with 10.5 million in 2,500 theatres, and overall it's made $25.6 million. Specifically looking at domestic, so in the US, it was beaten by Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian, Terminator Salvation, Star Trek, and Angels and Demons. So basically all franchise films. And then in the UK, it entered at number 6. It was beaten by Inglourious Basterds, The Time Traveler's Wife, G-Force, yes, the guinea pig movie, and Aliens in the Attic, and Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. because I think it came out later in the year, so they were different.
I definitely spent my
films.
money wisely by going to see both Inglourious Bastards and The Time Traveller's Wife. I'm pleased with past Claire's decision making.
I think
not the guinea pig.
Not the guinea pig movie, I'm sorry.
No.
At the time, I believe I may have been working for the Disney Corporation at the time this was released.
Disney Corporation.
I was already
For the
giving
mouse.
them enough. I was, I did not need to give them more.
Working for the mouse.
Yeah, no, I was definitely watching G-Force in 3D.
Hey!
Oh, what a film.
Did I mention I have a rodent phobia? I was absolutely, my brother had that on DVD and my mum continuously teased me about watching it, and I'm like, I can't even look at the cover. At the time I've gotten easy, like, it's a bit better with guinea pigs now, but at the time I was like talking guinea pigs, nightmare fuel, no thanks. Did anyone want to kick off with some reviews that they found? Anything interesting coming from any audiences or critics?
I found it difficult. I didn't find. I think a lot of the reviews I found were just saying the same of like, this just isn't funny.
Where are the jokes?
But Anna Smith, who did the review for Time Out, gave it 1 star and basically just said, with the recent rash of urban dance films, the genre is ripe for mocking, but this steers clear of smart observational comedy and goes for gross out every time, which was my problem with the film.
Copy and paste to all of the parody films, though.
Yeah.
Could be done there. Does anyone want to take a guess at what the percentages are on Rotten Tomatoes?
I think I already saw it, but I think it was maybe like 18.
Yeah, like very low, 16% or something like that.
Yeah, so Claire, spot on, 18% for critics. Audience score, what we were ranking against the original Flintstones? Are we guessing that audiences prefer this film?
Wait, what's
to
the
original
audience?
Flintstones?
What's the audience
okay,
score
so here we go.
for-
Let me give it a bit of context, Alex. So basically, when we look at the audience scores of films, Claire has a bit of a personal barometer where, because the first one we did was about Flintstones,
the Viva Rock Vegas,
But the original 1994 John Goodman has a lower Rotten Tomatoes score by audiences than the Viva Rock Vegas parody.
And she was outraged. So now,
and then we've realised that every single film we've covered so far, the audience rating is still higher on Rotten Tomatoes than the audience rating for 1994's The Flintstones. And I'm just like, how?
Surely not.
What are you all watching? What is with the hate?
It's our personal guide of are people insane? Yes.
100% of the time they're insane.
And I'm guessing again from my memory of looking at Rotten Tomatoes this morning, this also is higher than the Flintstones 1994 John Goodman masterpiece.
Not.
And remind me what the audience score is for that, for the Flintstones.
Isn't it like 25 or 28 or something? I'll
this
get it
is
up.
30%.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have a question for people who watch films. Is it crack? Is it crack that you smoke?
So the audience score for the Flintstones is 24%.
Ouch!
And the tomato meter score is 20. So Dance Flick is pretty close to it. But yeah.
This is too much.
It was my birthday yesterday. This is coming out much later, but guys, if you didn't get me a birthday present and you wished me a happy birthday, what you should actually do is go onto Rotten Tomatoes and review as an audience member The Flintstones. Please. I would turn 32. Let's raise that score to 32%. Come on. We can do this.
Amazing. Oh God. So the Rotten Tomatoes critics consensus, which I always love reading out, is Dance Flick scores a few laughs thanks to the Wayans brothers' exuberance, but it's ultimately a scattershot collection of gags without much direction. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a lot nicer than what we've said. And there's a few reviews from critics that I wanted to give a read out because they were quite funny. The Daily Telegraph, it didn't say what journo, but to say they fail is to insult the word fail. Scene for scene, there were probably more chuckles in the reader.
I did see that one. That one did make me laugh.
And then we had Cosmo Landsman from the Times. This comedy is so bad, it will make you want to tear out your eyeballs and use them for earplugs. And then Anthony Quinn from The Independent. Fans of the Scary Movie and its sequels know what to expect, though perhaps even they will notice here a thinning in the comedy and a coarsening in its misogynist and homophobic riffs, not an honest laugh in 90 minutes. Which is a little bit more of a on-point, serious one there. On Metacritic, it's got 40 out of 100. The highest score on there is a 75 from Owen Gleeman at Entertainment Weekly, who said, enjoyably dirty-minded send-up of when ballet met hip-hop youth musicals. Okay, Owen. And then another one that I thought was absolutely ruthless, but very true. Nathan Raven AV Club gave it a 42 and said, it would be hard to imagine a film with less going for it than Dance Flick. Which is surprising given he's given it 42.
Yeah.
Okay. And it has a lowest score of 0 from Carl Smith at the New York Post, who said, daemonically awful. Get it? Nice.
Very good.
And then a few audience reviews from IMDb and Letterboxd that I thought were quite funny. So there's the first 3 are actually really highly rated, come from highly rated reviews. Ruru 1967 on IMDb. Don't believe the negative hype. Anyone that puts this movie down is just uptight and can't get with the down low.
I am quite uptight.
Which is exactly me, and I get it. I've been called out, and it's rude, but I understand.
If liking this movie is right and being uptight is wrong, do I want to be right?
Yeah, if liking this movie is right, I want to be hell wrong. Corey416 said the best movie nobody has seen.
Well, he's right about
a hidden
one
gem,
thing.
I told you. Yeah.
Nobody has seen this movie.
Nobody's seen it. Sean Ferguson, as soon as the guy rammed his head up his own arse, I knew this was going to be a masterclass. I think that's a little bit more sarcastic than the others. And this one is -1. Half a star for the beatboxing vagina. Other than that, don't watch this. It's from Elle. Okay, well,
can I just give a shout out to Crow
do.
Shoes on Letterboxd as well? Half a star. I want to die.
I think I kind of want that review printed on a t-shirt just to wear for my general life. Yeah, half star. Done.
Do you have to give half a star? Can you not give 0?
I don't think you can give 0.
Yeah, I think if you give 0, it just doesn't count that you rated it. It
right,
just
I was
says
going to
that
say,
you've
because
seen it.
I'm like, I love how that still warrants half a star.
Yeah, no,
But
I think
get it.
if you put 0, it just doesn't admit that you've seen it.
Just the way you delivered that as well, Alex, is just perfection.
Beautiful.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, so here we go, guys. Then let's do our own ratings. Are there any half stars in the building?
I'd give it 1.
Yeah.
I should really have thought about this before I asked.
I'm just literally off the top of my head going 1 because I wouldn't recommend it. It was quite shit, but I wasn't bored. So I'll give it 1 star for having a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah, that's fair. I think
structurally it was a film.
Whereas one of the reviews I saw earlier was like, this is not a film.
I think
I don't know why, but that's just set me off.
This is what the writer's room must have been like. Just people randomly laughing, going, I don't know why, but let's keep it.
Literally, just... This isn't a film. It isn't. It's just a fever dream, if anything.
It's a fever dream. I'm really struggling for a rating. Alex, why don't you let us know?
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with Claire and just go with 1 solely for the one joke that I laughed at. That's it.
I think I'm going to go 1 as well, because I think I have definitely seen worse films that were like terribly made that don't actually resemble a film.
Vertigo.
Hitchcock's rolling in his grave. Yeah. And do you know what? I wouldn't even give it half a star because it resembles a film, and also it was polite enough to only be an hour 20.
Yeah.
So
Polite
it didn't overstay its welcome. So I'll go for 1 star as well. So I'm assuming we're burning it. The bonfire's already started. We're not.
I mean,
I
have the DVD. At some point, maybe we should have like a little. If we ever do a live show, we can get all of the ones that I have on DVD and have like
burning
a live
ceremony.
ceremony.
Not sure what good that will do for the environment, but
no, I am quite eco-conscious, which is why I haven't thrown them out yet. Because I'm like, I don't want them to be in a landfill. They could just stay in my home.
So, in terms of its ranking, we usually do. Does it deserve its ranking on the bottom 100? And I suppose more specifically, where it is on the list.
I mean, at the
Obviously,
start
it's
of
not
this
on there
recording,
anymore.
I think it was before we started recording. You said you felt it doesn't deserve to have fallen off.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Does everyone agree that when it should be on there? And I think it should be a lot higher. In terms of it was only 98, which meant it was only like on there by like 3 films or whatever. I think it should be higher up.
That's not on there, but The Room is. It's absolutely criminal. Criminal.
Start a petition.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to be mean. Don't know why. I'm normally quite mean.
Why?
Yeah,
it's not like you.
Did I literally? I texted you last week. And I was like, I keep telling everyone I'm a judgmental bitch, but no one believes me. True fact. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised it's there. I don't want to be like it deserves to be there, but I don't see. I don't know.
Where's
just
this
like,
sense of? Like...
I think because it's escaped. I think because it's made its way off. I don't want to be like get back on because it's somehow managed to escape. So I'm like,
I'm going to keep refreshing that page now. As soon as it gets back, I'm going to be like, yes.
I think the thing I'm really thinking is if this one is this low down, if this has now got its escape, what the hell are the rest of the films like?
Maybe the Wayans brothers, the Wayans family, bribed Bruce Willis into making that space film just so that it'd be pushed off.
We need to get off the bottom 100, please.
Yeah.
Before they do it on the podcast, please. Well, tough luck. You weren't quick enough.
I spent that 50p to cancer research to buy the DVD, so we are doing the episode.
Well, listen, at least something good came out of it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, maybe you could recycle it so at least it'll contribute something to society.
So, guys, let's talk about something a bit more positive. Let's talk about films that we do like. So this week we are talking about our top 3 dance flicks. Now, Claire, I just want to clear up before we get started. What are the parameters of which you feel?
See, because this is going to
classes as a dance flick, because we've had these discussions before. Right. I just want to get everything out on the table now.
Because I was struggling with this one, and I think I was like, so like La La Land, I don't think should count, because whilst they are dancing in La La Land,
it's a musical.
The film isn't about dancing. It's a musical. Alex has just picked 3 musicals then.
Well, it's just that La La Land was on my list, so at least an honourable mention. The choreography in La La Land.
That's it. It's a beautiful film with beautiful dancing, but I don't think anything about the film is actually about dancing other than they are dancing in it. And I kind of was like, I was thinking about Hustlers, because I was on Alex's podcast talking about Hustlers very recently. But again, I'm like, there isn't actually, even though they are dancers, there's not that much dancing in it.
Okay.
So I kind of was like, I've made up some weird parameters in my head, but I was like, I'm probably not going to be mean to you.
More...
I'm not going to yell at you for what you've chosen.
Well, do you know what? That's nice. It's nice to know.
Funnily enough, and this is this is going to end up being like a plug, but I've already done an episode of the rank list that is dancing films. So I had films ready to go in the holster.
Well, then why don't you start us off, and then I can just judge in the background, and be like, none of the plot is actually about dancing, Alex.
No, well, I'm gonna stick to these parameters that have been set out.
Okay.
So are we doing it? Is it like a top 3?
Yeah, my top 3 aren't in order. I just picked 3 that I liked.
Okay, well, mine are in order. At number 3 is Dirty
He's taking the
Dancing.
assignment seriously.
Dirty
Nice
Dancing.
choice.
Nice.
I think it had to be. Mainly because it's my mum's favourite film to ever exist. And
Such
she
a
made...
mum favourite film, isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. You know, she made me watch it
Is,
when I was
are
a
they
kid
even your
growing up.
mum if their favourite film is
I mean,
Dirty Dancing?
exactly.
My mum absolutely hates Dirty Dancing in Greece, which is why I know my mum does not like Joy and why I'm such a cynical bitch.
Now, at number 2, I'm kind of hoping that this one isn't on anyone's list, but I absolutely adore it. It's Happy Feet.
Oh, I wouldn't even thought of that. Such a good choice.
That is a really good choice. I
Happy
haven't seen
Feet.
that in so long.
Such a joyous
when they
movie.
do the
Such
Boogie
a
Wonderland
weird film.
bit is so good.
And also made by the person who made Mad Max, which is very strange. I don't
It
know
is such a
how that...
weird film. Every time I watch it, I'm like, I love this film. Look at all the happy penguins. And then you get to the end, you're like, the world is dying. This is a terrible thing. We deserve to die. I'm like, it's a roller coaster of a movie that I'm never ready for.
But it's just so good. Absolutely adore it. And then my number 1, and it couldn't be anything else, is Billy Elliot. Hands down.
I've actually never seen Billy Elliot.
Oh, it's so good. It is just... I adore it.
For years, I really didn't like British film. I was like didn't like British TV, didn't like British film. So I just have never watched Billy Elliot. And I do think actually I do need to go back and sort myself out.
Had only just watched Billy Elliot for the first time properly. I had seen bits of it. I'd never sat down and watched it properly last year. And I liked it so much that it is in my top 3 dancing films as well.
Yes! The Billy Elliot agenda.
So, yeah, I really recommend watching it, Claire. Like, it's obviously really difficult when people are like, this is the best thing ever. And you're like, I don't want to watch it in case it's not. But, like, I feel like you'll really appreciate it. It's a really moving story. And it's a lot of fun as well. It's feel good despite making you cry.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those classic ones. The other ones that I wanted to mention in my top 3, Black Swan. I don't know if you're going to allow this, but it is a film about dancing, and there's dancing.
I kept with that on mine because it's one of my favourite movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if I was going to put it on my list because I couldn't decide how I felt about
the
it.
Thing is that
now that you've put it on your list, I definitely won't put it on mine.
The thing that I struggled with is that I haven't seen enough of those typical dance flicks to even have them as any of my favourites, that I was like, I'm just going to go a little bit more out of the box here. Yeah. But yeah, what a film. Like, if you haven't seen that, like... I haven't
you can
seen
listen to me talking about it on a different podcast because it's one of my favourite movies of all time.
Plug.
Check out my episode on The Back Row where I talk about how much I love it because I just want to be a sad little ballerina.
And my final one might be a little bit controversial, is the remake of Suspiria.
I also was thinking about putting that on my list.
So
I really liked the dancing in that.
I watched both of them for the first time last year, and whilst I completely appreciate and think the first one is fantastic, the new one just had a very different tone and made me feel much more scared and horrified, and the dancing in it was so mesmerizing. I need to rewatch it again. That these are like, obviously, other than Black Swan, which I used to say was a favorite for me, Billy Elliot and Suspiria I've actually only watched the one time, but it's so difficult when these are such niche categories that I'm like, okay, this isn't like a favorite, but these are ones that have really stuck with me and affected me. And something a little bit different. I just also want to do an honourable mention for Magic Mike XXL again.
I really
been on my list.
I expected Magic Mike XXL to be on your list.
On my list for sexy films, so
that makes
what can I say? Also, we forgot to mention the Channing Tatum parody.
Ah, yes.
He actually was. Me and Claire commented that the person that they'd chosen to represent him, so to speak, was actually quite good in the physicality of pretending to be Channing Tatum. So a little shout out for C2 there.
Okay, so my 3, I was a bit like you. I was like, I don't know what my parameters are. So I'm going to go for the classic of the genre, which I was watching earlier, is Step Up. Just because I think if you want to watch, like, noughties dance film, the first Step Up is good. Channing Tatum is great in it. It kind of broke him into the mainstream. It's very dated, but it is, as all in my opinion, those kind of dance flicks they're Sunday afternoon hangover films. They just are what you need, that you can, if you fell asleep, you'd wake back up and you'd understand what was happening. There's some nice music, there's some pretty people dancing, and the story's pretty easy to follow. It's always about an underdog and they always win, and you're like, woo. So yeah, the step up the original there. Then I'm going to go with Strictly Ballroom, which is Baz Luhrmann's first film, which is just wonderful and all about dance. I actually only watched it for the first time last month, but I'd seen the stage show before, and the film and the stage show, both brilliant.
Kind of related but unrelated. I watched Moulin Rouge for the first time the other day.
Oh God, Alex, this is gonna. Oh God.
Oh no! Wait. What
what was your opinion of Moulin Rouge, Alex?
I loved it.
Oh, thank God.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We were all holding our breath then, like.
Yeah.
I wondered about including Moulin Rouge in this, but again, I was like, it's more about like acting and love than dancing.
I don't think I've ever been
musical, I would say as well.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been more attracted to Ewan McGregor in my entire life.
Oh my God. Like every time I watch that film.
So good.
Yeah. So yeah, and if you like Moulin Rouge, do go back and watch Strictly Ballroom, because that was like his first.
Okay.
As always, Daisy, I've got it on DVD if you want to borrow it.
Wonderful news.
Who
needs Netflix?
I know. And then my last one is going. I've forgotten what it was. Jesus Christ, I'm so tired. Like,
it's when we talk about these films, the brain cells do tend to check out a little bit, you know.
And my third film is going to be Showgirls, which I did already include on our Razzies, so probably a little bit of a cheat if I'm not meant to be repeating films.
No, I don't think. It's more of a personal preference that I didn't want to repeat. I mean, it could have been that I had to, because I couldn't think of enough.
Well, interestingly enough, two of the other picks were going to be either Black Swan or the Suspiria remake, so I'm going to stick.
Tastes aren't too dissimilar then.
Well, because it's a thing of like, I love, like I've said, like Honey, and I love Coyote Ugly.
Oh, why didn't I pick Coyote Ugly? See, I would argue that there's not enough dancing in that film to
which
be a
is
dance
why I didn't choose it.
Not enough Adam Garcia topless on a bar, if you ask me. There's enough. It's enough, but not enough.
Yeah. But yeah, so Showgirls, it's just wild. It's a special kind of dancing. And I think when I spoke about it last time, I was like, if you haven't seen it, it just has to be seen to be believed.
Yeah, I haven't seen it still.
It's a lot. So yeah, I've gone, you know, the really shitty dance flick, the actual film about like ballroom dancing, and then psycho stripper dancing. Oh. I've covered a whole wealth of bases.
All of the niche subgenres there.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, great. I like the real mix of stuff we've got there. We really did think outside of the box for those ones.
And we all kind of overlapped too.
Happy Feet is still the cleverest of picks, though.
It really is.
I think that is a really clever one.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, I'd need to watch, even if it's just like the Boogie Wonderland scene.
And Daisy spending her afternoon on YouTube watching clips from Happy Feet.
What do you mean? That's what I do on the regs. Cool. So that about wraps it up for us for this episode, talking about Dance Flick. But we'd love to know, have you seen it? Do you want to watch it now? Do you think that it deserves a place or its old place on the bottom 100? Do get in touch and let us know. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at WRatedPod and on Letterboxd at WRated. Alex, where can we find you? And do you have anything awesome, which I know that you do, to plug for everyone to check out?
Yeah, I suppose so. You can find me at Presenter Alex on Twitter, where you can pretty much find most of the things that I do. Me and Billy Melissa on Twitter have a podcast called the Annapurnaverse, which Claire has been on twice now.
Whoop.
And Daisy is still yet to be on because the film that you requested still hasn't been picked by the magical wheel. So
by the wheel. It's all about the wheel.
It is all about the wheel. So we talk about Annapurna films and it's good fun. And then I have recently become one of the co-hosts of Jumpcast.
Very exciting.
So yeah, you can catch that at Jumpcast_ on Twitter.
Is that where the Vertigo rant is?
It is. It is. Yeah. Check that one out.
Check that one out. And Claire, where can we find you on the socials?
I'm at Claire Ellen Hope, Claire without an I, where you will find me talking about my many midlife crisis breakdowns and not really about films that much recently. So Sorry to anyone who followed me for my very terrible film takes. You were just getting my very terrible life takes instead.
Top quality content right there. Subscribe.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you enjoy listening to our podcast, please do give us a follow or subscribe. And if you're feeling particularly generous, a rating and review is always greatly appreciated. We hope you can join us for the next episode where we take on our next worst rated film. See you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.